like to own a 4-year winning streak against the University of Texas?
Well, having a winning streak against anybody's good, but we recruit in the state of Texas, so we feel like it's important. We try to play well when we compete against teams in the state of Texas, and we've been very fortunate. We've had the ball bounce our way a few times, and our guys have played well against Texas.
Mike, you were with Les at Oklahoma State. You faced him as a head coach for the first time this year. Do you have a favorite memory or memories of your guys' time together in Stillwater?
Oh gosh, we spent so many hours in offensive meeting rooms, debating on what to do, and they were so healthy. I didn't know it at that time, but we had a lot of good hours in there coming up with schemes, and we're able to move the ball and score points in unconventional ways when we were at Oklahoma State, trying to develop some talent. But our meetings, till 11:30 or 12 o'clock at night, were probably as memorable as any of them.
Do you understand when he has a certain vocabulary? I don't know how else to put it. Do you know what he means by some of the words he uses? Because they are unorthodox.
I can translate for him. I've done it many times in meetings when we had new coaches come in. When the meetings were over and they said, "What did he mean by this and that?" And I said, "Don't worry about it. It doesn't factor into what you need to know." But yes, I've spent enough time with him that I can translate his lingo. Yes.
It's good. How much freedom did he give you as a coordinator?
Well, I called all the plays.
So you had total.
Yeah. Now, when we would get first and goal on the 2, he would say, "I got it now, Mike. Yeah, I got this. I'll take it from here." I never heard from him on 3rd and 12. But no, I called the plays. We worked during the week, and he did the running game, and I did the passing game, and we'd put it together, and we would come up with a script, play calling sheet, and then we'd roll.
Matt Wells told me you recruited him in high school. He said if Oklahoma State would have offered, he would have went to Oklahoma State. He said ultimately you guys signed another kid, I think out of Tulsa, and it wasn't your choice. I think Pat was the head coach. Do you remember recruiting Matt and what that was like?
He was 92-ish or something like that. I can't remember. I do remember recruiting him, and I can't remember who we took. I think we took Tony Jones.
That was it.
At Booker T. Washington.
What do you remember about Matt? Is when you recruited him?
A good player. Came to camp, things like that. Great family, and recruited him right to the end, and we ended up not taking him because we signed Tony Jones from Booker T. Washington. Yeah.
How good of a chance does Tylen have to be one of the next great wide receiver at Oklahoma State?
He's a good player. He's got all the ingredients. He's humble, he's tough, loves to play football, he's intelligent, he's a leaper. His route running skills will only get better. That's something that you do over a period of time and increase your value more so than maybe jumping up and taking a ball out of the air. So he'll certainly have a chance to play for quite a while.
I wanted to make sure I didn't miss this question. How were things down on the farm this year?
Good. We cut about 70 acres of hay yesterday and tethered it, and it's drying now and probably bale it in the morning. So that's what I did yesterday.
And that's all you've got to do between now and the season starting?
No, my boys, I still have a 17-year-old playing travel football, and I got a 14-year-old playing travel baseball. He's in Arizona now with his mom. They're playing in a tournament. So if I'm not doing that, I'm farming and coaching. That about wraps it up.
Coach, you talked about the discipline that you're looking for out of your defense. Obviously, the coaching staff is a major part of that. But how much are you going to be leaning on your veteran guys to kind of push that for your younger guys?
Rodarius and AJ should be really excited about this year. They've gone through being young and then developing last year and coming on, and then now they're veteran players. They stay hungry and continue to compete. We need them to play well. And then we need to be in the right place at the right time. Sometimes we got out of place, got out of a gap, late hits, grab face mask, things that we can avoid. Those are the areas that we need to improve on defense.
And how much pressure will those improvements take off of whatever starting quarterback that you choose?
Well, there's no question. If you play better on defense, and you can limit some points, and it's not as hard to call plays on offense. In most cases in this league, you're generally trying to score every series because you're afraid the other guy's going to score every series. But I feel like that we'll be a more disciplined team on defense this year to make things easier.
Mike, you mentioned whoever doesn't turn the ball over at quarterback is likely to be the guy. Is that something that Spencer Sanders is?
Well, that was kind of a three-part. Not really that. You know, for us, you have to run our system. Got to be able to distribute the ball effectively to the guys that can make plays, which they have a variety of guys, and then you have to take care of the ball. You know, there's times that you throw it away, there's times you pull it down and run it, and that's a lot easier said than done based on we throw the ball down the field a lot, so there are some risk, but guys that we've had play quarterback that have been effective knew how to manage our offense, and that's kind of what we're looking for right now, one of those guys to manage. Well, he's doing good, and Drew's doing good. You know, there's just not enough scrimmages in the spring. I mean, we just don't get enough time. Our schedule for the fall is built in August that we have more of those, so we can try to determine what direction we want to go prior to the start.
I think most everyone assumes it's going to be Spencer Sanders. Do you think that people are underestimating Drew Brown?
If Spencer were the guy, we would have already named him. Only evidence I can bring to the table is my history. Is we do that. I think it's beneficial for a team to know who their quarterback is. So we don't ever. You know, I've said this. I was giving Kale a hard time. I mean, they didn't know Kyler Murray was the best player last year until 2 days before the first game. I mean, so you know, and if I didn't have a relationship with Lincoln, I wouldn't tease him. But we don't have. That's not the situation we're in. Okay, we will name a starting quarterback whenever we think that it best suits our team. Right now, we're not in that position.
It's kind of a broad question for you, but I'm just curious to get Les Miles.
Well, I've been asked that. You know, Les has his own language he speaks. I'm not sure what it is, but he has his own language. And Les is, you know, a very energetic for however old he is now, early 60s or something. Yeah, however old he is. And we had so many stories and so much time together, drawing up offensive plays. I used to tease him, you know, he has Michigan in his background with Bo Schembechler and running the football, and he's the only guy that could get on a grease board and draw up a power play on offense for like 6 hours straight and not change anything and still keep drawing it up and just do it again and again. There's only so many ways you can block it. Those are the things that we used to give him a hard time about when we were working together.
Are you going to wear?
Deal with, what kind of crops you deal with on your farm?
I raised Bermuda hay. We're doing very high protein, wheat-free hay that we raise for horses. Big horse people buy our hay. So we get 3 cuts a year. We're at about 14 to 15% protein in our hay. Pretty high.
How long you do that?
6 years probably, something like that. We baled 397 bales last year, big round bales.
Were you surprised by the Kliff Kingsbury?
You went from hay to Kingsbury. I like it. Was I surprised? Yeah, everybody was, right? I don't think when you first heard it, I don't think anybody was not surprised. But then when you see the trend and the direction it's going in the NFL, and that league latches onto things, and that's the newest thing out there. And I mean, honestly, for what resume they're looking for, he's a perfect fit. Basically, he's a play caller, right? An offensive coach and a play caller, different than what would be a head coach that's not calling plays. So that's what they were looking for. I don't know the Rams. The Cardinals. But I'm saying, obviously, that's what direction they were going.
What do you think of Kyler Murray with paired with Kingsbury? And do you think he'll be able to translate well?
You know, I've been asked that a lot over the last few months. Kyler had the most unbelievable one-year career ever that I've ever seen in college football. The numbers and the way he played was staggering. His adjustment to the NFL, I don't have any idea. I've never been in that league. I know that things I know for a fact is this. I know Kliff's a smart coach and he's got a really good offensive mind. And I know he's a good play caller. I know Kyler Murray's got a good arm. I know he can run fast, and I know he's elusive. That's all I know. Now, how that'll pair up in the NFL, whether they'll bring pressure from his right side and force him to scramble to his left and make him throw on the run to his left, and all the different things you hear, I don't have any idea. I just know in college, he was a pretty tough guy to deal with.
Mike, if your son wants to play at Oklahoma State in a couple of years, do you have any strong feelings about wanting to coach your kid at the collegiate level, or would you prefer not to coach him at the collegiate level? If he wants to go that route?
If he wants to come to Oklahoma State, I'm okay with that. He needs to be able to pursue whatever dreams that he has. We've had a 10-minute discussion on it just because of the situation. I said, if you come to Oklahoma State, I'll coach you like we do everybody else. You don't show up, you don't do this. This is what you get. I mean, it's like you and I are coach player at work. We're not father son.
Right.
And so I said that's one thing you have to keep into consideration. If you're the best player, you play. If not, you won't play.
Have you coached him?
Even though I'm sleeping with your mom. For now, yeah.
Breaking news. Wedding ring.
Well, but you've been married a long time, and so you know how that is.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Have you coached him in the youth leagues and any other sports growing up, or not?
I have not coached any of my sons.
In anything?
Not
baseball, nothing?
Like at home, yes, but not in the games.
Team.
No.
Okay.
Coach, you talked a little bit of this in your press conference, but I'd like to talk to you about it again. What about playing OU with 3 transfer quarterbacks in a row?
What about it?
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, when have they had a quarterback play that they recruited?
Who's doing all? Trevor? Top 21st night?
I mean, I don't even know what year that was. When was that? 8 years ago? 6 years ago? Something like that? I was just thinking that because of that. I don't know. It's been a long time. They've had
Jamel Holloway, maybe?
Yeah. and that recruitment was sketchy.
Troy Aikman, and he left.
Yeah. So they've had some pretty fortunate guys transfer in there, good players.
Mike, how was it for Jim Knowles last year? Just kind of going through this league, adjusting, bringing some
How was
different
he?
ideas? Yeah. How did that process go?
I was talking about that earlier. I think he's like most coordinators that come into our league for the first time. We all try to tell them and coach them, and this is the way it is, and until you really live it, and you're defending guys that are trying to score every play, not every series, every play. I mean, guys calling plays in this league get upset if they don't score on particular plays, and so it's a much different approach than it is in different leagues. Now, the other major conferences are taking note and are following our play. I mean, what was it, 3-4 years ago, teams in the SEC said that they should have a rule banning fast play. Now every one of them plays the same way we do. So it's changing some in the other conferences, but it's not as dramatic as it is in our league.